Well, my friends, I lied. I thought that was going to be the last thing I was going to do about The Handmaid's Tale until the fourth season came, but they have interviewed the cast a little bit about season four, and I would be remiss if we at least don't try to react to what's going on. So let's play it and react. By the way, I'm not crying, I just have a horrible allergy and it makes one of my eyes very watery. So hold on, let's play this and react as we come along, and you guys are going to hear and I'm going to watch. Hold on.
How does she come back from everything that goes down in that final episode? How does she come back from this in Gilead?
I don't know, actually. I can't tell you.
And he thought that she was going to answer that. I think these actors are all sworn into secrecy. They just can't spill the beans. But good try, Mr. Interviewer. It's a spoiler alert, so let's see what's going on here.
And the Lord said, I have seen my people.
That is that last scene where June quotes the Bible, the Lord heard our cry.
Situation?
That's such a good question. They've hung in there together for a very long time. And what seems like an absurd, odd, if you will, friendship.
Can say that again, Aunt
They
Lydia.
admire
I wouldn't
strengths in
call
each
it a
other
friendship.
and the vulnerability in each other. It's a very complicated relationship, which is what I love about it.
Is it a relationship? Well, I guess it is a relationship, but more than a complicated relationship is that of a relationship of tyranny and abuse, right, Aunt Lydia? Can we agree on that? And there's that scene where June turns around and shoots the driver. Here's Warren Littlefield.
Really a fighter, going up against Gilead and actually accomplishing something. She also takes a bullet in her efforts.
Yeah, definitely. June took a bullet, and we saw her for the first time putting her actions where her mouth was and actually doing something heroic, right?
We have a sense of joy and accomplishment for what she accomplished with those children. And we also have to figure out how to get her out of the well, because at the moment she's in the bottom of a well.
And you guys know why he's saying that, right? I mean, she's going back to Gilead, not to Canada. And she just had to do with the deliverance of over 50 kids, with the escape of several Marthas. And I think the operation, doesn't matter how discreet they make it look, is going to have June's handprints all over. Now, it is a good thing, though, to know that Commander Lawrence stayed behind, because in the absence of Fred Waterford and Winslow, he might be the best chance that June has not to end up hanging on the wall. Let's see what else is going on.
But we will.
We always followed June through June's story. In fact, I always feel like we let her lead us. So
that is Bruce Miller.
Next step after you become
the
a
executive
rebel
producer,
and actually kill people and then shed blood and have people shed blood for you, then whatever comes after that is her next step.
Is there one thing you really want to make happen in season 4?
Hannah. Yeah.
Yes, please, Hannah. We want to see you reunited with your daughter, June.
I think it's time.
Absolutely, it's time.
Much Nick this season, but some people are wondering, is she sticking around for Hannah, for Nick, for both?
Twofer. She's sticking around for Hannah. Yeah. I actually think that it was an interesting move to kind of not make it about a love story. And I think it's actually interesting that we kind of put that to the side. At the same time, I love the Nick-June relationship as much as anyone, if not more. So I miss Nick too. I think he should come back.
Yeah, but I think he's going to come back in a different capacity. This whole, thank you. I'm in a conference room and the lights get off if I don't move too much. So I guess once in a while I'm just going to have to go like this. But we know that June and Nick are now going to be instrumental witnesses for the conviction of Serena of rape. And so I think that obviously June and Nick's availability to be witnesses is going to be dependent upon what happened with Gilead. But certainly I would think that the authorities might be interested in what they have to say. And hopefully, in spite of the fact that June is still in Gilead, they will say the truth, or they would ask for protection, in which case we may have the legal, if anything in Gilead is legal justification from pulling both June and Hannah out of Gilead as a way to protect them because they are about to testify against the regime, and they have every right to want some protection. Maybe there is such a thing as witness protection program in all this equation. Let's watch a little bit more.
This is your chance to be a father to our daughter.
But Nick didn't take that
Can
chance.
we see more Nick in season 4?
He didn't take
Absolutely.
that
I don't think I
chance.
saw enough of him this year either. Max is terrific. He's such a wonderful
He
actor.
failed.
And we love having him in the
June
show. And, it's
and
just,
and
as
baby
I said, you
Nicole
follow
when they
June
needed
and
him
the
the
ebb and flow of
most.
That sometimes leads you away from all the stories you want to tell. But yes, he's both Nick and Max are a favorite of ours as well.
And he's intimately involved in where Serena's story is going, so we got that to play
That's
with.
exactly
Good or bad.
what I just said.
Forced your driver to impregnate
Exactly what I just said.
claim the resultant child.
Nick and Alfred had a relationship.
If you guys remember correctly, they had a relationship after that. I mean, sexual relationship. Prior to that, they were flirting with one another, but they didn't have a full-blown relationship until after that. And so Serena, good try, but no.
Still a rape.
Still rape.
Mrs. Waterford.
Ooh, you're not
What do
Serena
you wanna
anymore.
see
Now
for
you're
Rita in
Miss
season 4?
Waterford.
I really want to see that first initial conversation with the Waterfords when we're on an even playing field right now. When there's finally no hierarchy or roles. I want to see how that conversation goes because we've learned that Rita has such an empathetic heart, and I'm wondering if it will turn now that she doesn't have to be as empathetic anymore, or I wonder if someone's going to get punched.
What is the
Very
number
good
one
point,
question
Rita.
you want answered in
Very
season
good point.
4?
Who's my cellmate? I hope it's not a big burly chap that has predispositions like Christopher Maloney's characters.
Could be an asset.
Yes, that would
I
not
think Fred
be
and Serena
good.
certainly have a lot of stuff
Thank goodness
to
you don't have
work out in
Winslow to
their
worry
marriage.
about anymore, Fred.
And there's enough people up there that there are strong stories coming in there. And also, I think the show kind of has an obligation to represent an accurate refugee experience because so many of our characters
Absolutely.
are either trapped or they're going to be refugees. So
I'm going to be very, very interested in how they portray the work that they do with these kids. I have no reason to believe that this is not going to be well researched because, as I said in a prior commentary, these kids for 5 years have been led to believe that they are somebody else's children. They are traumatized. You guys saw the interaction that June had with her daughter. She said, "Why didn't you try harder?" So although Hannah remembers June, there's some resentment there, and she is regarding some other people as her parents. And so it's going to be very interesting, and I hope, and I don't have any reason to believe that they are going to simplify or minimize, I always come up with new words in English, minimize the impact that this captivity and the kidnap has had on these children and their parents and their reunification with those parents.
those are only two choices. So you really have to represent that option as a true option of what it's really like.
Are we going to be exploring Canada a lot more?
Well, we have a lot of characters who are in Little America. And they've
Little
found
America.
some peace, but they've also found that Gilead stays within you, and you have to carry that forward. And just because you are in Canada to start the year, I don't know, doesn't mean you'll stay there.
Uh-oh, what's that supposed to mean? Does that mean they're going to go back?
It's really good to meet you.
That was a very touching scene where Rita embraces Luke and tells him that she's responsible for the deliverance of
I
the
also
children.
am hoping that there's going to be some sort of coup, like in Canada, that we go and try to get her out, because I know that we're all connected now, all of our characters, so I
It'd be
hope
so
that we're going to
funny.
have a gang and try to smuggle her out on our end.
Do you think there's ever a world where Lydia flips to the other side?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me, I gotta tell you.
Great
Because she
question.
didn't come from there. She didn't come from Gilead, you
Um,
know?
I hope-
She was a teacher. She loves children.
Well, I hope that even if she flips, she bears with the consequence of her actions, because even if she turns around, she has maimed, she has tortured, she has done too many things that she knew to be wrong. Lydia may be misguided, but she's not insane, and she should be held accountable for her actions.
Has she kept that space where love could happen safe? And can we somehow get there?
It feels like we are really moving ahead here. So is there an end game in sight, kind of a final plan in place, or is it still taking June's story one season at a time?
I definitely have possible end games in sight. But, you know, when they're all going to coalesce.
I definitely have end games in sight, but I am not going to tell you. I am going to keep you guessing until the end of the season.
Into kind of a finished episode and something you can put nicely on the shelf next to your copy of Handmaid's Tale.
Take a nice deep breath. Really, darlings, nice deep breath. It's all going to be fine. And we'll get there somehow. And we'll be waiting for you next season. And thank you for being so wonderful. Such wonderful fans. It's extraordinary.
So that was that. I was at some point in another interview that I watched, this was the most complete that I could find, but in another interview that I watched on Lydia, Anne says that on Lydia still has some things that she has to teach June. So I got really, really scared by that. Although I guess there's a possibility, as remote as it may be, that what June has just done with all those kids might really touch on Lydia's heart, because in the bottom of her heart she cares deeply about kids, and that it may turn her heart. Whatever happens with her, though, even in the event that she repents and feels sorry for her actions and decides to change, let's remember, repentance and feeling sorry for our actions doesn't exempt us from consequences, and she really, really needs to see the consequences for her actions. And so, ladies and gentlemen, season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale will be here sooner than we think. In the meantime, I'll be doing other commentaries. We'll be continue with the series Marriage Over. We'll continue with the series of My Lost Weight, which I am currently working on the first video, and we'll continue it. And so stay tuned on, and my daughter and I are going to tackle 12 Reasons Why, because the episode just got approved for a next season, so it's perfectly okay for us to tackle it. We'll probably tackle it by thematics, as we've tried to do with past episodes of The Handmaid's Tale. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for now. I gotta go back to work. I'll talk to you guys later, and Handmaid's Tale Season 4, we can't wait for you. Bye.